After a historic run, how big are the cracks we're starting to see in the Kansas City Chiefs armor? We'll discuss that and much more right now on Offside Sports. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Offside Sports. We're live from the Loft 100 Studios in Southern California, presented as always by Turtlebox Audio. Waterproof and insanely loud. Be unafraid of one of those things. Check out their incredible lineup of portable speakers at turtleboxaudio.com. And of course, thanks to Turf & Sons for the turf we sit upon on our beautiful stage. Turf & Sons, San Diego's #1 choice for turf insulation. Find them at turfandsons.com. Allison Ratzlaff, we missed you last week.
Back.
You're back. Great to have you back. Dave Pele is here.
Keep me away.
As he normally is. In fact, Dave had the, I think the line of the show last week. We were doing our top 5 power rankings, NFC and AFC in the NFL. And you sent yours in. Thank you for that. And Dave said he was really surprised that you didn't have the San Diego Padres in your
I know
your NFL
what
rankings.
is what. I know it's.
I defended
They
you.
would be #1.
I defended you. I said, Dave, that we don't do that on the show. We don't throw anybody under the bus like you just did.
I can take it.
But it was very funny, and I appreciate it. The Kansas City Chiefs, and this, I know this kind of, it warms my heart. I don't know if it does with you, but they're 0-2. And they're looking bad in the process of going 0-2. First week, they played a much improved LA Chargers team down in Brazil, and they lost. Yesterday, they took on the defending Super Bowl champion, the Philadelphia Eagles, at Arrowhead, and they lost as well. And are we beginning to see a little discontent? You know, Travis Kelce was a little angry. He had, he dropped a sure touchdown pass, interception, returned. He also dropped some other passes in the game. But Dave, I'll start with you. Are we starting to see some cracks?
I really hope so. I really hope so. Not a Chiefs fan, out of the way the Chiefs have won. There's so many different things to uncover with the Chiefs. And we can start with Travis Kelce. Not only did he take out Xavier Worthy, he took out his own guy, which hurt their deep threat.
Yep.
And you could say, well, that might have lost them the game because you go in to prepare for your first game, and Xavier Worthy is going to be a big weapon. Not anymore.
No.
And then Travis Kelce again in game 2. Not only did he not catch a ball he should have caught, it literally goes to the Eagles. It turns into 7. That's a 14-point turnaround.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't lose by 14 points. So things aren't going well for Travis in that aspect. The thing that I want to point out with the Chiefs is the Chiefs are complaining. How dare they complain that the guards are moving early for the Eagles? Your right tackle has been leaving early for years, and it's never called. And I'm like, you guys have some nerve. So for the Chiefs to always get their way and the talk that Dallas isn't America's team anymore and Kansas City should be America's team, and look, I hope it is falling apart. I know in reality, probably not the case. Going 0-2 and giving up on the Chiefs. Andy Reid's a tremendous coach. Patrick Mahomes, tremendous player. But I hope it continues the struggles.
It's as a Raider fan, and we're filming this show on a Tuesday. They did not look good last night against the Chargers in Las Vegas. But we're not talking about that today. Allison, when you look at what Mr. Swift, the podcaster, how he's playing on the football field. I think this is a Travis Kelce. This might be the swan song for him. Even if whether they make the Super Bowl or not, I think it's over.
Yeah, his age is showing now, I think, and he's building a new life in different areas that might be on his mind. I don't know what's going on with him specifically, but I did think against the Eagles that their defense looked a little bit better than it did against the Chargers. So I thought, okay, and to me, that's Andy Reid. I mean, he's an incredible coach, and I think he will make the proper adjustments. I sure wish the Chargers were 0-2 instead of the Chiefs.
A lot of us, a lot of us. I think, that's kind of universal in Southern California. You wish it was the Chargers instead of being 2-0, but the Chargers have played 2 good football games, and you really can't discount the fact that they seem to be using Justin Herbert the way that they should be, and the way that the team hasn't done going back to when he was drafted out the University of Oregon. Dave, when you look at what's happening with the Kansas City Chiefs, though, and you look around the rest of the AFC West, would you call it this is just maybe perfect timing for a guy like Josh Allen to be playing the way he is with the Buffalo Bills and for them to kind of be winning and playing it the way they are?
You know, it's an interesting comparison when you look at the divisions, right? Because Kansas City is in really arguably one of the best, if not the best division of football.
Yeah.
Right? You have coaches, every coach in that division has coached in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Harbaugh didn't win it, but Pete Carroll has won one. Andy Reid's won multiple Super Bowls. Sean Payton's won a Super Bowl. The division's fantastic. The culture is a big thing. In everything you do, the culture is everything. So whether you're working in an office or you're working in the NFL, what Jim Harbaugh has done with the Chargers, he has changed the culture in a short time. Andy Reid did it in KC. Sean Payton's doing it in Denver. And Pete Carroll is, I think, the right guy for the Raiders. Even though the Raiders don't have the talent like the other teams have,
Yeah.
Josh Allen is doing the Tom Brady move right now. Meaning Tom Brady was in the AFC in his division when everybody stunk, right? The Jets were terrible. The Bills were terrible. The Dolphins were terrible. And guess what? You get to host 2 playoff games. All of a sudden, you're in the Super Bowl.
They feasted off a terrible AFC
Right?
East. Yeah.
And not saying Tom Brady wasn't great. Tom Brady is greatest of all time. That's some argument. My argument is, guess what? Josh Allen's using that same playbook, Mike, right now. Because that division stinks. That's a horrible division. And Josh Allen's like, I'm going to sit up and put up my numbers, and we're going to hopefully host playoff games, and we're going to get back to the Super Bowl and finally win one.
You got to play. Listen, you got to play the cards that you're dealt, and again, there's no style points in the NFL. The games come up on the schedule, and you just lay those cards down one at a time, as the Hall of Famer Jimmy Johnson would say, and you just play them out.
And you have to. There's a saying that says you have to play the game that is presented to you that day.
Yeah.
And you never know what that is. Who's going to be on the field? Who's injured? Who's got the flu, like somebody on the Chargers last night. So, I mean, things come up and happen, and you have to play the game that's presented to you that day, no matter who it is that you're playing.
We will get to the quarterback injuries that are befalling a lot of the teams in the NFL coming up in our second segment. But as we look at week 2 now in the books, as we look ahead to week number 3, Dave, what do you make of some of the surprises, like the Arizona Cardinals being 2-0, and we talk about being able to use a guy like Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Cardinals, in a way that really he is going to benefit and his teammates are going to benefit from, and it seems that Arizona is doing that with him.
You can make the argument right there that division could be the best in football, right? No one ever loses in that division except for the Seahawks, who had to play the 49ers, and then Seattle looked great going to Pittsburgh. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals are that kind of forgotten team. Like, if you could take the Cardinals and stick them in the AFC South with a bunch of other teams that you want to forget about, that's where the Cardinals kind of belong, right? Like, nobody cares about the Cardinals, the Titans, the Jaguars, the Colts. No one cares about any of those teams.
Right.
But I will say this about Arizona. If you watch them week in and week out, they play extremely hard. I mean, they give you everything they have. And they didn't look great against the Saints in week 1, which was surprising. And, yeah, they're going to start losing games. I don't know. I'm not sold on Kyler Murray of being an NFL winning quarterback. For me, that's not where I'm at. I like the other teams in that division, especially what the Rams have this year. As I told you, that was my prediction for the NFC to go to the championship game. They face the Eagles this weekend in Philadelphia.
Right.
There's so many things, Mike, about the NFL that we love, and I know all 3 of us are big NFL fans. The one thing I'll say is this is the best product in all of sports. I mean, it never disappoints. Every week you're like, wow. Wow, it's amazing.
Well, and then, you look at the schedule makers, and I don't know if it's the crystal ball or if it's the Jedi mind trick, whatever they're doing, but when you look at, some of the matchups that we have coming up in week 3, Allison,
already
you've got a pivotal 0-2 matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants in Kansas City. Now, do I think the Chiefs are going to go 0-3? No, I think they're going to crush the Giants, even though, the Giants put up a good fight against the Cowboys yesterday.
They looked pretty good.
But the fact that they're saying this is a pivotal game for either of the teams, and one of those teams is the Kansas City Chiefs, David, goes right to what you say about it's a phenomenal product.
It is. Do you guys remember at the beginning of the season we were talking about, I mentioned something about the Packers, and you both were like, look at the Packers. They look like they might win the Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what, we'll show it later on in the show where my rankings are on the Packers.
Yeah.
I mean, the Packers have been amazing. Look, it is great, and whether you think your team's out of it or not out of it, when we made our picks last week and we were doing our rankings, I think it was hard to find 5 on each side. Now it was hard the other way to
Yes.
go. Man, I don't know.
To
We
get
even
rid
need
of
a
one
top
of
5. Yeah, I mean, we only need a top 3, I
Yeah.
think, right now.
Yeah.
Quickly, 10 seconds each. 49ers, I know that they have the injury with Brock Purdy, but do they look at a team that you think is going to be standing there at the end of the year when it's all said and done? Or is it too early?
It's too early for me. We have to see when Brock comes back.
Dave, what about San Francisco?
The Niners are done. Kyle Shanahan can't ever win a big game. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
At least I tried to be nice.
Well, it doesn't matter. Joe Montana's back there. Kyle Shanahan's going to mess this up.
I love it. All right, there were some incredible games week 2. Who impressed us enough to make it into our top 5 power rankings? What we're going to tell you as Offside Sports rolls on right after this.